once those lines are drawn.
In 2017, Hans Breitenmoser of Merrill was instrumental in putting this referendum question on Lincoln County ballots. Should the Wisconsin legislature create a nonpartisan procedure for the preparation of legislative and congressional district plans and maps? It passed, but more notably, it started a statewide movement. Now 51 of Wisconsin's 72 counties have endorsed nonpartisan redistricting. This spring, 16 Northwoods communities passed the referendum overwhelmingly. Breitenmoser's work led Governor Evers to invite him to the 2020 State of the State address.
Hans is up there in the gallery with us tonight. Hans, thank you for your work on this very important issue.
That night, Governor Evers announced a new nonpartisan redistricting commission. Yet, for being nonpartisan, opinions of it are practically split along party lines. In Rhinelander, the referendum passed with 89%. Republican Representative Rob Swearingen voted against it. He believes it's a constitutional matter.
I was elected, and I swore to uphold the Constitution of Wisconsin. And the Wisconsin Constitution gives the legislature the authority to draw the state's electoral map.
Article 4, Section 3 of the state constitution says after each U.S. census, the legislature shall apportion and district anew the members of the Senate and Assembly. However, very few legislators, if any, helped draw the maps in 2010. In fact, Keith Gaddy, a political science professor at Oklahoma University, was hired by Republican lawmakers to engineer the maps. Governor Evers' nonpartisan redistricting commission is similarly calling for someone besides the legislators themselves to draw the maps, and the legislature would still have to approve it. State Senate Minority Leader Janet Bewley says the last redistricting made it clear that something different has to be done.
There are districts and areas that used to be Democrat that no longer are because of the way the boundaries twist and curve.
The data backs up Bewley and other Democrats' concerns. Even though Democrats got about 200,000 more votes than Republicans in assembly races, Republicans retained their wide majority with 63 seats to the Democrats' 36. Keith Gaddy testified in federal court to using voter data to predict how different district boundaries would affect election outcomes. The maps were drawn to pack as many Democrats into as few districts as possible and spread out the rest of the Democrats so Republicans have slim but safe majorities in other districts. For example, a Democrat in the Assembly represented the city of Marshfield during the entire 2000s. But in 2010, Marshfield was split in half. Right now, I'm in the 69th Assembly District, but as I cross Peach Street, I enter the 86th Assembly District. A city that leans Democrat has been split into two solidly red districts. Article 4, Sections 4 and 5 of the Wisconsin State Constitution reads, electoral districts should be as compact as practicable. Minority Leader Bewley points to Senator Jerry Petrowski's 29th Senate District as clearly not compact.
I call it a paramecium. It's a very long, bulbous kind of district, very strange shape.
Plus cut out portions of Sawyer, Clark, Marathon, and Wood counties. Representative Mary Felskowski stands with her Republican colleagues.
I don't think we are gerrymandered.
And says the nonpartisan maps would make districts even less compact.
Think if you wanted to draw a 50-50 map, you would have to draw from the middle of Madison and probably go north, probably about 75 miles, and have a long, skinny district.
But Breitenmoser says a nonpartisan commission wouldn't look at voting records at all.
I'm saying follow the political boundaries to the best of your ability, do it transparently, do it without any regard for voting patterns in the past, do it without any regard for incumbencies, and make it a fair election.
Breitenmoser points to the Iowa model, which is drawn by a nonpartisan commission. It deviates from county and city boundaries only when it has to.
The Iowa model is one that has been looked to as a very successful and fair way to go about drawing the maps, and I would be in favor of that.
Breitenmoser says voters should choose their legislators, not the other way around. He thinks politicians should be rewarded for doing the most good for the most people. He said that doesn't come from a system that's rigged.
The same same old people are in power not because they have the best ideas or because they're the fastest or the brightest or the most adaptable. They're in power because they've arranged it so they can't get out of power.
Senator Bewley says fair maps would spur more innovation and less party boss obedience.
A competitive district is good because it makes you respond in a rational and pragmatic way to all of the needs of people, not based on political party, but on the fact that these issues are complex.
Reporting in northern Wisconsin, Dan Hagan, Newswatch 12.